Hello, travelers, and welcome to the Horror Green Book, the channel that takes you from coast to coast and kind to kind. I am your travel guide, Brendan, and here we are again in the Scary Sanctuary, bringing to you number 3, our third ever double features live watch party. And I'm so glad to be here tonight. I've been really looking forward to this. Starting it off a little bit earlier than usual because I have some things to do this upcoming, in the next couple of days in preparation for Horror Hound weekend. So this is going to be a lot of fun, guys. I'm going to wait for everyone to join in. So we'll give it like a good 10 minutes because we're starting off a little bit earlier than usual. But we got Tony in the house. What's going on, Tony? Vero in the house. Hey there, Vero. Speaking of which, Vero, I'm going to get that package out to you actually tomorrow. I was running a little bit behind with getting ready for Horror Hound and some personal stuff with the kiddo being on spring break. So I'm running a little bit behind, but I have everything taken care of, and I included some special things for you. Hey, Ghostface. What's going on, Ghosty? All right, guys. Yes, I'm looking forward to a great night. Um, we are going to start off with the stuff which was picked by Happy Toys and Collectibles. We're going to wait for him to come through. I'm pretty sure he's going to fill in sometime tonight. And speaking of the stuff, we're going to have a very special giveaway. We have 2 containers of the stuff here for everyone. Speaking of Happy Toys and Collectibles, how's it going there? So as everyone joins in, I'm adding everyone's name to the contest. Let's see, we got Vero in the house, Bumper. So as people join in, I will add them to the random giveaway that we will be having at the end of the live watch party. So you do not have to be present to win. As long as you check in and hang out with us for a bit, you will be added to the giveaway selection. Oh, yes, Bumper. I was going to mention that. Tubi, it doesn't have it on Tubi. It is on like Pluto. It is on Plex. Let me see where else the stuff is. It's also on Philo. So if you have Pluto TV or if you have Philo, it's free on there, and it's also on Plex. Hey, we got Jeff in the house. What's going on, JD? Let me add you to the giveaway as well. Okay. Yeah, guys, I'm so happy for this awesome time here with you all. Speaking of which, I included the link for Pluto, but let's just say if you guys are watching on TV, if you have Plex or Philo, you can search for the stuff on there as well, or just search in your Fire Sticks, etc., and you should be able to find it streaming for free somewhere. But yeah, hope everyone's doing well tonight. I'm doing fantastic. Just doing some last minute things for Horror Hound. Horror Hound's going to be a lot of fun. Jeff let us know earlier in the Discord that Corey Taylor will be performing on Saturday at the after party. As I've come to expect with Horror Hound, they typically have a musical act that will perform a few songs on Saturday night. So that is very cool. And have someone as famous as Corey Taylor is a major plus, especially since I've never seen Corey perform live. I missed one of the last times Slipknot came to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I had another event that I went to, and unfortunately I missed out. So this will be a nice consolation, especially since I'm actually attending it for free because I got press passes. So I just got to make sure to get there early before everyone crowds the place. But they have plenty of space in that particular ballroom. You got the stuff on VHS. All right, make sure you're queued up. We got less than 3 minutes. Make sure you have your drinks, your 420, your mind altering substances, your the stuff. This is one of my favorite films, guys. It's just such a fun watch. So much rewatch value. Man, bless you, Larry Cohen. I mean, you just gave us so many awesome films. I mean, you have Q the Winged Serpent. So many ones that just the list goes on and on with that guy. Rest in peace to Larry Cohen. And our next feature after the stuff will be Night of the Demons. It's still transitioning to nighttime over here in the Dallas Fort Worth area, so I figured that would be the better of the features to conclude on. Let's go ahead and get fun, with the stuff and get a little bit more creepy with Night of the Demons. I'm looking forward to Amelia Kincaid's epic dance. One of my favorite horror moments. Yeah, it's so cool. And it's just awesome because, of course, she was a trained, well, is a trained dancer. And it's so apparent in that scene with Angela. Um, that was a goth girl awakening for a lot of guys. And was probably my first exposure to Bauhaus. So um, I'm I always have plenty of memories with this film and seeing it at almost every mom and pop rental place. I mean, every rental place that was worth its weight had Night of the Demons and had the stuff as well. All right, guys, we're getting close to the start. I already have my second Woods of Terror IPA. I'm going through these. I'm gonna have to make sure to hit up that brewery to try to get some more of those. Can't get enough of the stuff. It's just one of those things. And also being a child of the '80s, you just can't help but go like, oh, 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 the right stuff. My older sister wore out her New Kids on the Block cassette tape. So, needless to say, I heard that song many and many times on mall trips with her driving. Still have the old VHS Ghostface. Yeah, those. It's so crazy knowing how expensive VCRs are now. Like they go for crazy money now. I'm so glad that. No, we're gonna actually go with the stuff first. We're gonna do Night of the Demons next. So you can find that on Pluto. You can find that on Plex. You can find that on Philo or Philo, whatever, however it's pronounced. So crazy how we didn't know the actual pronunciation of Timu until like last year's Super Bowl, and we were all just saying Timu. But hey, I still say Timu. All right, guys, we are less than a minute away. We're gonna start with the stuff. Let me make sure I'm queued up. My goodness, I need to put this in theater mode, and I need to move the chat. There you go. No problem at all, Ghosty. All right, guys. Hit play on the stuff. You got the stuff. I love this movie. Make sure I turn up the volume. For those of you that have seen the stuff, when was your first time checking it out? For me, it was a rental. And of course, whenever I think of this film, I can't help but think of Garrett Garrett Morris. He's pretty awesome as the DJ in this. In the early '90s, bumper. Yeah, that's probably around the same time that I saw it. It was definitely the early '90s for me. The VHS box just creeped me out so much that I was just like, you know what, I need to check that out. We're gonna strike it rich, man. This stuff tastes delicious. You didn't see it until you were like 19. Your friend had a store and found it left over from when they. Oh, nice, nice. Hey, that's a quite an awesome score right there, Tony. To come across the stuff. Another awesome kid bedroom. Back in the 80s for you, Jeff. Oh, it's your first time, Vero? Oh, wow. Hey, the stuff is pretty addictive. We're warning you now. It's hard not to have a ton of the stuff in your refrigerator. What's the 80s for you? Happy? Sweet. And we got the iconic Paul Sorvino. We got Danny Aiello in here. We got some names in here. And this is actually the very first role, if I'm not mistaken, for Mira Sorvino. She's uncredited. I still haven't been able to find exactly where she is, but apparently she's in one of the factory scenes as one of the workers. So there's a very young Mira Sorvino, and I still have to meet her. She was at Houston Horror Film Festival, and I didn't get her autograph then, but she's going to be at another convention that I'm planning on being at this year, and I definitely can't wait to meet her. As a matter of fact, I think she's actually going to be at Steel City Con, so she's one of the main reasons why I'm going. You think you're around 7 when you first saw it, Lori? Yeah. I love about one of the things I love about this film is it actually makes for a pretty good horror film for kids as well to check in. It's not too much for kids to take in, but it's just the right amount of scary to freak them out. You met her at Son of Palooza. She's nice but quiet too. Yeah, I've seen pictures of people that have met her, and she seems really soft spoken and sweet. Like she definitely seems like that quintessential sweetheart. Like I've always wanted to meet her since the '90s. I am a huge diehard fan of Romy and Michelle. Like I can't get enough of that movie, so I have a big soft spot in my heart for Mira. Yeah, it's just kind of sad to hear, kind of what happened with her in the industry. It was cool because at Houston Horror Film Festival, she put up a video because she met a couple, and they announced that they were actually going to name their baby Romy. So that was so cute, and she made sure to put it on her Instagram because it was such an honor for her. So I was like, that's so cute. Uh, yeah, the quick burning cigarette. uh, and Janine Garofalo, she's awesome in that movie. Love some Janine. She totally wants me. Hey, Industrial Spies. That's pretty much what happened in the movie last night with Possessor. I love that joke about her inventing post-its. I mean, those were the days when you could actually really get off a lie like that before the internet. And who would have thought Janine Garofalo's character would, of course, know who the creator of Post-its is? Like, of course, he would know who that is. But yeah, she's such a sweet woman. So I would love to actually get my container of the stuff signed by her. I know she signed a few of them in Houston, and she was very flattered by that because she's just like, wow, I didn't know that people knew I was even in that movie. This dude is so cool. Well, This dude stands out so much because I always think of him in Q the Winged Serpent because that dude was such a douche in that film. But he's good in the stuff as well. Yeah, yeah, for real. Like I'll never forget my first time watching Romeo and Michelle. It had to have been. I'm thinking it was either on Cinemax or on pay per view when I had the like the cable scrambler and fell in love with it. I mean, Lisa Kudrow and Mira, they did their thing. Awesome writing, and to be honest, I'm totally all here for a sequel. I've heard that they were talking about doing a sequel. If they do a sequel, that would be awesome because that actually makes sense of why it would take long for another one. Because I mean, the whole gist of them having the first film was because it was their high school reunion. So we can catch up with them at another reunion or just whatever's going on in their life. You got it on tape too, Tony? Hey, I always want more too. More money, more money, more money. And of course, guys, if anyone needs a timestamp, just ask and I'll make sure to take care of you. All the days where you could just give someone a clear right straight, a straight right, just round, right down the middle. You just ordered The Cave today on Blu-ray. It's my Blu-ray, but it's the only one you could get in English writing on the. Okay, okay. Cole Hauser. Nice, nice. You wonder if it's on Tubi? Let me see. Let me double check. 2005. It's currently on Amazon Prime for streaming, but I'll have to check it out. I've never seen it actually. I remember hearing about it. Let me see. Man, I swear, man, those 80s houses, like everyone knew someone that had a kitchen like that. Great taste, less filling. Kind of like The Descent, but better. Hey, man, I mean, I absolutely enjoyed The Descent. So for someone to say that it's like The Descent, but better, that's very high regard. So I'm down to check that out. And it's so crazy. Like, whenever I see, like, people online that'll say stuff like, oh, I don't like social commentary in my horror. And I'm just like, man, social commentary was made for horror. Horror was made for social commentary. Going all the way back to Nosferatu, the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, even cheap schlock like The Stuff is full of social commentary. Like even stuff like Chopping Mall. It's just like, dude, this is how people can make some comments about the world today, but also keep it pretty chill, you know? I'm not going to be preachy, but we're going to make it fun. This is a schlocky movie about, you know, consumerism, marketing, the shadiness of corporations. But at the end of the day, it's about a killer food product. So, hey, Captain Spaulding, what's going on, Captain Spaulding? Let me go ahead and add you to the giveaway, buddy. Yeah, we definitely need to get a picture together for real. Those kids are most definitely brothers. Like that family resemblance is really strong. And that also makes me think of like at Kings of Horror Kings of Horror Con in San Antonio. They're gonna have Michael Faustino, who is David Faustino's brother. And people would know Mike from Monster Squad. And it's just whenever I see that, I'm just like, yeah, that kid was definitely David Faustino's brother. You just downloaded Chopping Mall? Oh my god, Ghostface. Chopping Mall is so freaking fun. Oh, you get some prime Kelly Maroney in there, and also Barbara Crampton's in there. Those GoBots are it's fun. Oh my gosh! Now I have the theme song in my head. Yeah. I would imagine that he was in a couple episodes of Married with Children as well. I would totally love to meet David Faustino. I totally was a huge fan of Bud Bundy. Cancel those dinner dates. You know what? I actually really like. Why am I watching this on? Is this? Let me see. Yeah, I'm Pluto because if this was Tubi, I would have already have gotten the ad. I'm like 13 minutes and 50 seconds in, and I have not reached an ad yet. Oh my gosh, you're so going to be humming the theme song in your head constantly from the first time that you watch it. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. And honestly, it probably has one of the better head explosions of horror. You know what's crazy? I was watching a video of some little girl on Facebook who was having a tantrum in like Walmart or somewhere, and she was doing something similar to that, and I couldn't help but think of the stuff. You got Chopping Mall on VHS for 50 cents. Oh, now that is such a deal. You technically stole that, Tony. Look at this degenerate. Hey, thanks a lot, Captain Spaulding. I mean, any information would definitely help, man. That's a diorama that I think would be a very cool deep cut for horror fans once they see it. It'd be very creative. I think that would be just a cool diorama to show off. So, hey, man, I really appreciate any assistance. Hey, Papa Goss, what's going on, Josh? Good to have you in. Let me go ahead and add you to the giveaway. Hopefully everything's going well with you, Josh. That's such a beautiful dog. Yeah, I so want a Great Dane one day. But the only thing about them is they only last for like 6 to 8 years. That's just like so hard to have a dog that short. They're such gentle giants. Danny ILO. I can't see Danny in anything and not think of Do the Right Thing. I totally think Danny could have won a Best Supporting Actor Oscar for Do the Right Thing. Glad to hear that, Bob Goss. Yeah, for real, Ghostface. Like he technically got away with stealing. That dog's like, mm. Hey, dogs love the stuff too. Yeah, that Great Dane is just so majestic. But you know what? I one of the things that's really understated about this film is the wardrobe. Everyone's dressed very nicely in this film, and for a Larry Cohen film, I'm just like, okay, some of this stuff had to have been from personal wardrobes because there's no way Larry was shilling out extra funds for people to look extra fly. Yep, a stockpile of the stuff. 1,000 VHS, Tony. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy, brother. Mate, that is something to be really proud of because that's a lot of curation. You know, I mean, granted, I'm sure some are just because okay, I got this VHS for cheap. I probably don't know much about it, but I'm just grab it too. But I'm pretty sure a big percentage of that is something that you saw and was like, gotta grab this. This is a good deal, or this is actually a pretty good movie. I mean, the fact that they have drive-ins. I'm not gonna lie, I love a good drive-in though. Like, there are a few places in Texas that still have that vibe. Like, there's this drive-in restaurant that serves. It's called Keller's, and they serve burgers, and it's a cool hangout spot for like bikers, people that are in car clubs. It's a really kind of divey spot, but it's very good burgers, very cheap. But also, it's really cool. Is because they'll serve you beer, and I just think that's so cool to be at a drive-in that you actually drive to, and you're gonna have to drive to leave, but they will serve you beer. Oh, he's still a good boy. It's all good. It's all good. I found a homemade tape once in a VCR I got. Let's just say they were getting it on. We flipped out. Got some home videos. It's too bad you weren't the guy who came across the original Pam and Tommy, the Pam and Tommy tape. Now that's a blast for the past. Oh, that's dope, Tony. Yeah, man. That's the time to have been collecting because that's before VCRs and VHS started to come back in vogue again, and prices started to get crazy. The dog acting out like Cujo. Yeah, it's okay. He's still a good boy. Your buddies bought that Pam and Tommy VHS at the swap meet back in the day. Oh yeah, man. Everyone had that Pam and Tommy VHS. Yeah, it's just crazy to think about those times and all the infamous tapes that made their way to the scene. Yeah, like people like Rob Lowe and of course probably the most infamous for all the wrong reasons is R. Kelly. That definitely hit the streets for a while. I remember when that one was out and about. That was crazy. Um, and then on up to after the Kardashians, it just kind of just like yeah, all right. Now everyone's trying to do them after that. Oh, we got Garrett. Some SNL kung fu moves. Well, it's not they live, but hey, it was exciting for like 2 seconds. Yep, Kim Kardashian. Yep, the Kardashian tape is probably the biggest one of all time. Definitely. I mean, it started a $1 billion industry for a family off of one tape, which is crazy. It could have been. It could have been a really freaky version of The Ring. I mean, honestly, that's why I thought would have been a logical step for The Ring before we got It Follows. It's just like, hey, it should have been this type of tape that gets spread. Chocolate chip Charlie. They had good sets here too. It just goes to show you don't have to have like a huge budget to make things work. I definitely know where Midland, Georgia is. That's so funny. Okay, just checking up on text with the kiddo, making sure he's okay. Let's see. Okay, what is this? Let's see. Ghostface. We actually, after 6 months, found the family in the tape on Facebook. The guy in it had passed away. They must have just gotten rid of his stuff and not checked. Yeah, that's probably the case. That's why I tell people, I'm like, hey, if you find stuff, like all of my closest friends, I'm like, hey, if you find stuff in a certain area, burn it. Some stuff is going to the kiddo. Some stuff is going to friends that I know they would enjoy and take good care of, and other stuff just burn. I should have like a self destruction timer, like attached to like my pacemaker when I get really old, and when that pacemaker fails, just stuff just incinerates. It started as a family vacation. Then they recorded the sexy parts over some of it. I get that. Yeah, rehashing old VHS tapes. But the guy in it stole his brother's wife. Oh wow, talk about drama. I catch that joke, Bumper. Yeah, that's a major twist. Tony's sitting there looking at the tape, back and to the left, back and to the left. So it's pretty much the JFK tape for you. The Oliver Stone cut, back and to the left. This movie is so unhinged. Yeah, they got glass jaws. See, eating the stuff just enables you to have a glass jaw. It's like, thanks for the push. Like this movie is such a silly freaking horror movie, but the fact that you 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 could talk about addiction with this, like just so many things lurking beneath the surface, and that's a sign of great writing. Yeah, the face, ghost face. You know what, guys? I still haven't reached that yet. I'm about to reach 29 minutes. So it looks like if we find a movie that's gonna be on this, we're definitely gonna probably go with making sure that we'll probably go with the Pluto option, if at all possible. Yeah, that guy's shirt is awesome, right? It's so cool. But I love how in the SNL movie that they got that guy who was from the New Girl. I can't think of his name, like, but I know who he is to play Garrett because he looks just like he could be Garrett's grandson. And I'm glad that he was also on the SNL 50th anniversary, and he spoke about John Belushi. Stockpiles of the stuff. I wonder how much of this Larry Cohen probably shot guerrilla style. Because knowing him, he probably didn't get the permits that were needed. I'm pretty sure of it. Hey, man, you got the stuff? You got the stuff truck. Oh, corporate goons. Another film that this also reminds me of is Chud, because there's a lot of bureaucracy in this. But even though it's kind of talky, it's still very engaging at the same time. Like it's very smart writing. Man, I'm still thinking of how shocked Ghostface is going to be when she sees Chopping Mall. Like I so wish I could be there to watch it with her. Like seriously, Ghostface, you should say that for when we're all gonna watch it. Yes, happy. It's we are at 32 minutes and 20 seconds. Right, bumper. It's cheesy. It's very cheesy. It's full of 80s cheese, but it's good 80s cheese. You gotta leave it to the stuffies. I'm not a stuffy. Also, you're down, Ghosty. Okay, sweet, sweet. I'm glad to hear that because I so want to be there to hear or read your reactions. Speaking of which, we may actually I may actually do that for next Monday then, so that you're not waiting too long. That may be next Monday's live watch party. That's why you watch it on Blu-ray. Okay, okay. I'm very surprised I haven't reached an ad yet, Bumper. But also sometimes I think it really depends on where you're watching from because I get ads when I'm streaming on like my Fire Stick, but I seem to get way less ads when I'm watching from my laptop in the Scary Sanctuary. Yeah, they did have a few names for Chopping Mall before they decided on Chopping Mall. I know one was like Killer Bots or something like that. Hold on, let me look. The cool thing about Letterboxd is they have alternative names generally. Uh, I love these commercials as well. This stuff. Yeah, it went by Killbots. That's what it was. I knew it was something with bots. Oh, I love that theme song. Yeah, we're gonna probably do that on Monday then. So we're not gonna keep Ghostface waiting too long to watch the awesomeness of the stuff. Yeah, it's pretty old school, right? Okay, just texting back the kiddo. He's wondering if he could still stay outside. Like, all right, you stay out a little bit longer, buddy. Benign bacteria. Yeah, it's for your gut health. Jamie Lee Curtis peddling the stuff. Activia stuff. Yeah, it's killing something, all right. Oh, the video game in the background. Oh, man. It didn't take much to keep us entertained as kids back then. Finish that food. Every last drop. You appreciated the look, the music, the premise. Yeah, it's a definite fun film. I like the kills. I mean, the music's cool. I mean, it's definitely a fun one. And that mall has been featured in a few different movies out in L.A. If I'm not mistaken, that mall is actually still around, thankfully. So people can still see that mall for the time being, which is a rare thing. Some Fangoria magazines and cheesy flicks. Ah, man, that's all we needed. You were just playing Halloween on Atari 2600 the other night. Gotta keep that babysitter from being beheaded. Oh man, I'll always remember. That was my first gaming console. It was an Atari 2600. It belonged to my older siblings, but my first one that I owned that was mine was, of course, an NES. Amazing 3D. Like seriously, oh my gosh, how do you guys remember the 3D books like that? You could just spend so much time just looking at the cool 3D pictures, or the ones where that weren't necessary. Well, that had the blending where you didn't have to use the 3D glasses. You would just hold it up to your nose and just slowly pull it back until the image looked 3D. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why my vision's pretty messed up. Proper nutrition from the stuff. Yeah, I completely forgot about those books as well. It's funny how certain things will trigger the memory. Like I saw that 3D book and it just took me back to a certain place. Oh, another thing I'm looking for. Speaking of beer, um, another cool thing I love about Horror Hound is for every Horror Hound, the brewery that's across the street conjures up a special horror related beer that is related to whoever the special guests are for that Horror Hound. So they come up with two special edition beers like at least a year. So I can't wait to do that and hang out with the fans. I even have my special liquor backpack in order to save money on drinks. I'll just, hold on. I walk around with this bad boy that is insulated. It has a cooler in here. So basically, I'll just fill it up with ice from the hotel and throw my beer, throw my liquor in there, my mixers, and I'm set for the evening. Even I'm passing out stuff and shots to other people. So I love whenever I could load that up into my baggage, and it's going to be a fun horror hound, that's for sure. And then no one's checking backpacks anyway. Everyone's walking around with a backpack, so that's a fun way of walking through the convention and not having to wait in long lines for drinks, which is one of those things that you have to worry about at a lot of conventions sometimes. That's another reason why I do it, because I don't mind spending money to patronize the hotel or whatever venue, but sometimes you have to wait in a long line depending on how many bars they have set up. So I'm just like, hey, I keep my backpack on me, and hey, it's just like, hey, you guys want a beer? Oh, there you go. Comes out a lot more cost effective. Enables you to spend more money on autographs and merch. That's right, Tony. Gotta stay hydrated. I mean, you wait too long, man, you'll dry out. Grimsby. The FDA. You trust them? Full of the stuff. That's like printing money right there. Uh oh. So the stuff is private jet flying, limousine riding, kiss stealing, willing dealing, son of the stuff. Okay. Mira is somewhere in this scene. So guys, if you see her, point her out. Yeah, tons of old hairdos. And I heard a very interesting theory about that's why a lot of teens look so much older than what they actually were. Is because of their hairstyles. Is because we associate those outdated hairstyles with that time, and but that's how younger people actually wore their hair too. But then again, also they were dealing with a lot less conveniences, and also teens did a lot more cigarettes and drinking as opposed to other or later generations as well. Like you're much more likely to see kids vaping than actually really taking a drag off of a cigarette nowadays. Yeah, kids will eat a Tide Pod before they'll smoke a cigarette nowadays because of the health risks. Smoking, that's unhealthy. Let's take these bath salts. Schools used to have smoking areas. Yeah, they did. Like in my high school, they had a smoking tree, and it was not uncommon for kids who were really definitely under 18 to smoke out there. And faculty would know, and they just like, okay, whatever. They're too busy having smoke breaks as well. Do they put alcohol in Tide Pods? Yeah, exactly. And it's funny that you mentioned that bumper. I was about to mention the new way of drinking alcohol by by these younger generations. Hey, slow and steady, slow and steady. Yeah, Tony, that's absolutely true. That is so true. These little weirdos. Oh yeah, but nowadays you're part of the in crowd now, Tony. It's bizarre world. Where's the stuff? That's so awesome that that's really the where's the beef lady. That is awesome. But you know what? That commercial actually reminds me of the. This is a deep cut. Now you have to be a certain age, or you have to be cultured enough to be on YouTube at a certain time to get this reference. But how many people remember the Orson Welles Paul Masson commercials, where it's like, French champagne. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be made in France anymore. Paul Masson is made in California, and it's made with the best grapes, and it takes its dear time, and blah, blah, blah. But the outtakes from that, where Orson is just drunk out of his mind, and they're just doing multiple takes, is, it's art in its at its finest. And he's super drunk, and he's like, the French. That makes me. I say that in my head every time I think of like a French horror film, because the French have a certain taste when it comes to being weird and being extreme. Burning the stuff. Now that is quite a fire stunt right there. Like that stunt man, it hardened on my face. Now that is a mouthful. Oh man, this scene freaked me out so much as a kid. And the old Charlie Chaplin rotating room trick. Yeah, I love when people use the rotating room trick, like Nightmare on Elm Street and many others. Breaking Two, such a cool effect. This stuff is on fire. I know, right? Ghostface. This is such a fun film. Like, as far as I'm concerned, this is one of those films that is never a bad time to watch. You know, like with certain films, you kind of have to be in the right mood to watch them. But with the stuff, I mean, there's never been a bad time to watch it, in my opinion. Sometimes it's the perfect film for when you can't find something to watch. You're like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and watch the stuff. I have a good hour and a half to burn. Just a fun little silly flick about corporate greed. And what's really cool is, this is such a timeless story. I mean, when people say, films that could be remade, like the stuff could honestly be remade today. I wouldn't be mad at the stuff remake, but it's already perfection. Like this is so good in itself, right? You need to make a list of movies like that. Oh, you know what, Tony? I've been thinking about TerraVision. You know what? I've had thoughts of possibly doing TerraVision on this. So we're gonna probably do that soon. I absolutely love TerraVision. So we're gonna have to do that soon. I may set that as a goal for next week or something like that. Like we'll set like maybe like a super chat goal, and if we reach a certain amount, I'll probably do TerraVision for a double feature next week or something. So let me ponder on it. We'll see after Horror Hound how exhausted I am. But that may be that's definitely been on my mind for a while with doing TerraVision. That's so cool that you guys definitely enjoy these types of flicks like me. Oh, and speaking of which, Old Restless hasn't shown up yet. So if Old Restless shows up, remind me to remind him if he wants to select the flick for next week for our second Disgraceful double feature. But if he doesn't show up, I'll contact AB and she'll make the selection. I'm so enjoying these Disgraceful double features with you guys. It gives me something else to really look forward to. And I haven't forgotten about actually setting up a live watch party sometime in the Discord. So I'm trying to decide on a good time. It will most likely be next week. So I'll double check my schedule, but I'm thinking sometime during the weekend, during the day. So like maybe a Friday before it gets too late, or maybe on a Sunday during the day sometime, or like the afternoon. And we can watch like some of my favorite horror host shows on YouTube, or we can watch full movies actually from the Discord, because I can actually set them up in the server to on the screen, and we can all hear each other's voices and everything. So that'd be a cool way to set up some live watch parties as well, and just have some banter between us all. Exactly, Ghostface. I'm down for that. Like, I love that energy. Like, there's nothing like watching. Like, I love watching horror, but nothing compares with watching horror with a group of enthusiastic people. It just makes the experiences so much better, when people are laughing at the jokes or people are commenting about how sick and gnarly the kills are. Okay, I'm glad that you think so, guys. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do that. Like, I really want to do that, and it's just another way for us just to hang out and vibe. And the cool thing about doing those is I don't have to be on my laptop to do it. I can actually set up everything from my phone, so I could just use the little YouTube app to connect to Discord, and we can watch the same screen and shoot the shit. I'm down for it. Oh no. Oh. Oh my gosh. that screen. Oh, it's it's funny though. There's like as aged as that screen effect is, there's still some charm in that. Yeah, I love how they're using a blue screen on that. Hey, old Restless, what's going on? We were just talking about you, old Restless. While we have you in here, let me mention that we would like for you to choose next Tuesday your selection for next Tuesday's Disgraceful double feature. If you're down, old Restless, you've been a long time subscriber and watcher. So if you would like to participate and nominate a film for next week, I would be very happy for you to do that if you would like to. So if you are up for that mission, if you choose to accept, it's definitely available for you for sure. Yeah, that green screen is just like so. It's so funny to look at. But as funny as it is nowadays, that was very impressive for its time. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a horror film, Old Restless. Basically, the gist of it is B movie, cult classic, schlocky. Um, so it could be a kung fu movie. It can be it could be a sex comedy. Just anything that shows a little bit of your taste that you think that the travelers of the Green Book gang would enjoy. Dead Alive? Oh my gosh. If Dead Alive is available to stream free, that would be awesome. So let me double check. Let me see. I think it is possibly. Let me see. Okay, it doesn't look like Dead Alive is available on streaming anywhere free. That's the pretty much the only caveat right now. Yeah, it has to be available for streaming for free. So it has to be something like on Tubi or Pluto, Philo, Plex. Yeah, Dead Alive is awesome. Hey, no worries at all, old Restless. We generally say that people that choose to select a film, they have until Friday of that week to get their selection in. So because you're a part of the Discord community, feel free to just message me whenever you come up with your selection. Yeah, I love Dead Alive. Yeah, I really wish that was on somewhere for streaming right now. And speaking of, if anyone is in here that is not a member of the Discord community, I just put in the link for our community in the chat because I know some people prefer to lurk. Not necessarily, they're not able to chat. They just want to hang out and vibe. But you could still feel free to lurk in the Discord as well if you feel like chatting. You know what? I know 2001 Maniacs is on Tubi, so yeah, we can do 2001 Maniacs. So I can put down 2001 Maniacs in for next week's Disgraceful double features. I'm always down for Robert England in a very controversial role, but I love it. So that would be awesome. Let's do it. Yeah, I think Captain Spaulding is possibly in the Discord, but I know Captain Spaulding also. Me and him, we chat on Instagram, so I'll make sure to reach out to him as well. Captain Spaulding's pretty awesome because he's sending me something very cool in the mail, and you guys, let me stop and tell you guys that I really, really appreciate you guys' support to the channel in all the variety of ways that you guys support. I mean, some of you guys do super chats. I've had a few of you all send me some things, which is very awesome. Like seriously, like that really means the world to me that you guys are rocking with the channel enough to lend your support. So there are countless channels on YouTube. I say it all the time because I really mean it. There are countless channels on YouTube where you guys could spend your time watching and supporting. And the fact that you guys come here to hang out with me is super cool. So I've been getting some people through Instagram and other places that I've wanted to send some stuff in. So I think I'm going to set up a PO box eventually for the channel for people. You know, if you ever want to send in something, whether it be a cool gift or something that you think the channel would enjoy, you know, you guys can send it into that. So I'll make sure to possibly add that to every single video, you know, where you guys could actually reach me to send in some stuff. Like I totally never thought that I would be thinking about doing some of the things that I'm thinking about doing with this channel, all because of the support you guys give. So I'm definitely here for it. Hey man, I love you guys too, Papa Goss. Like every single one of you guys. It's so awesome getting to know each and every one of you. Or Wolf Cop. Hey, or Restless Wolf Cop is awesome too. Like I said, the choice is up to you all. You know, I like to give you guys the time. There's no pressure. So, you know, even if there's another film that later on down the line that you feel like, oh, I like this a bit better for my choice, you can always change your mind. You know, pretty much almost down to the deadline. So, you know, feel free to take a couple of days to decide. Oh, Restless, I know that that you're up for making a selection, so I'll just send you a message on the Discord to see, you know what your final selection will be. But I'm down for either 2001 Maniacs or Wolf Cop. Yeah, exactly. Those are really cool ones. Hey, Josh, I really appreciate that, man. And that's what I was wondering with setting up this YouTube channel. I wanted to. I've you know been a part of other YouTube channels and their community, and I love how they have just their regulars that come on, new people that come on, people that just show up whenever they have the time to, and I wanted to have a bit of that as well with horror fans that really dig with my style of content. And, you know, me being someone that actually likes to go to conventions all over, I wanted to have that community to where we could all hang out at times. So, you know, if some of you guys are in a particular part of the country that makes it easier for you to come out and hang out with me, I'm all for it. Oh, Paul. I would have totally loved to have met Paul Sorvino. Like I was definitely a bit saddened when I heard about his death. That guy's been in like so many movies that I've enjoyed. Yeah, I know. Like I never got a chance to meet Paul. Such a big fan of his. But it's cool. I'll be able to meet his daughter, and I definitely want to ask her if she could share some stories about her dad. It's like, where's my reward? Man, that Datsun hat. Oh, I would love to have that hat. It's so cool. Like those hats are just like back in the day, they were just like nothing then. But nowadays, like to have a cool vintage like Datsun hat, oh, those things would probably go for a pretty penny nowadays, especially in pretty good quality. I have a good friends that are into like vintage trucker hats like that, especially ones for like cigarette companies and beer companies from back in the day where you had to like save up your camel bucks. I had a I had a good friend of mine whose parents were smokers, and I will always remember this. Speak back on the subject of smokers. His dad was a Marlboro smoker, and his mom was a Camel smoker. So had a ton of Marlboro Bucks and Camel Bucks. And when I tell you, every now and then, they would let him and I just like buy stuff out of the catalogs. So I remember having like really cool little like Camel like it was like a little mini cooler, but I mainly used it to store my cassette tapes as a kid. I remember getting like some shirts, some hats. I really wish I still had those because man, those were like some really cool vintage items. Man, a camel raft, man, that camel raft was a lot. Like like some of those really big ticket items that were in the camel booklet or the Marlboro booklet, that was a lot of points you had to get for those. And the fact that there was a lot of smokers out there, I mean, that literally just collected them and never really did anything with them. So whenever I knew a friend that had a parent that was a smoker that collected like those, I used to love grabbing that stuff. Yeah, to get a magnetic phone mount, man, that's good marketing. I mean, we love free swag, right? Even though we're paying for it in different ways. It's an awesome head kill right there. Headshot. Yeah, man. We'll never have those times again. Stuff's running all over. Oh, I forgot. Let me add Oh Restless to the giveaway. And guys, again, if you come in and hang out for a bit, you will be entered into the giveaway for tonight's disgraceful double feature. Thank to you. Well, thanks to the patronage and the support by Happy Toys and Collectibles, you will be receiving a free container of the stuff. Thanks to Donovan, aka Happy Toys and Collectibles. The only thing you have to do is make sure that you like the video and just hang out with me for a little bit. We're gonna do the drawing. I would say at the end of Night of the Demons. So I will make sure to contact everyone that wins if you're not here, and I'll receive your address to send out these wonderful containers of the stuff. The Horror Green Book will not be held liable for this stuff taking over your household, making you addicted to it, or changing your physical contributions of your body. Your body may be a little bit more flexible to, well, more vulnerable to damage, and the Horror Green Book will not be held liable to that. You quit a couple years ago. Now you just suck down these Zens. Yeah, like they're going out of style. Hey, there's a will, there's a way. We gotta move from one thing to the other, to the less harmful things. So nothing too dangerous. So I feel you on that. So much fine print. Yeah. Hey, I gotta protect my butt, man. Hey, I can't be held liable for whatever the stuff may do. This part of the film is so hilarious to me. Oh, I love it. Hey, some more social commentary. There you go. Just sprinkled it in. You see, you don't have to beat people over the heads with social commentary. You just let them come to their own conclusions. I love how they all had to take taxis down. I'm sure the taxi industry really appreciates it. Nowadays, it would be Ubers. And the dudes just be like, well, hey, I got a charger for you guys. You got a choice on music? Got a couple of drinks back there? Hey, that's right. Tip 'em. Tax write off. You gotta get that receipt. I mean, if it's going on the government's dime. All right. Tribute to Elvis. Paul Sorvino is so hilarious in this movie. Man, I love this movie. Chocolate Chip Charlie. This is the Halloween 3 moment where they're trying to tell him, stop it! Turn it off! Stop it! Yeah, yep, that's Garrett Moore. He played Stan. Yep, Stan, the owner of the radio station in Martin. Yep. And he was also in Two Broke Girls. He was awesome in Two Broke Girls as well. Yep, yep. He was hilarious as Stan in Martin. Yep, original member of SNL. I love how this is like a parody of Famous Amos and the Famous Amos cookies. Um, I remember Famous Amos actually came to my school one time. I will commit this colored man to speak. Paul Sorvino is freaking hilarious. Like, oh my god. Yeah, Garrett and Paul Sorvino are probably the MVPs of this movie. And this is one of my favorite parts of this movie as well. Oh, I know, all right. Oh, here it is. This is the most epic death in this film. If anything was nightmare fuel for me as a kid, it was this scene. Oh my god. This still freaks me out. That's so disgusting looking. Ugh. Oh yeah, that's still to this day that ages very well. That has aged very well. Yeah, totally has the thing vibes with that, especially that part. Hit the juice. I can make a very inappropriate joke about the stuff hitting her face like that, but I guess you could probably guess where I was going with that. It was slithering. There you go, bumper. There you go. I knew one of you would follow me with that. You guys are so funny. This is why I love doing these live watch parties. I'm able to laugh about things like this. That would be something I would probably laugh to myself about in my head, but I can verbally express that, and you guys will laugh about that. Gotta cook it. That's a good thing, Bumper. I love that about you guys. I love being able to make inappropriate jokes, and that's part of one of the reasons why me and AB get along so well because in the Joe Bob group we are absolutely unhinged. We make the most inappropriate jokes. So that's why I told her I'm like, you have to join the Discord and come to the live watch parties because she will she will make comments on stuff, and I'm just like, you know what, you are the most dude woman I've ever known in my life. So that's awesome. I love that cool dynamic with everyone that supports the channel. Everyone's just super cool. Yeah, for real, Bumper. It is. It's more relaxing. You don't have to worry about being demonetized or having any type of strikes. Yeah, those are the moments where your travel guide is off of duty. Yeah, that's such a boss fireplace right there. The stuff is finished. New and improved. Diet stuff. There you go. It's like light beer. There it is. Great taste, less filling. Jason. All right. Yep, got something for you. Yo, we got something for you. Got a stockpile. Yeah, it is, right, Bumper? Very beautiful. You know what's so funny? They're recommending Chud next after the stuff. That's so funny. I was like, yeah, there's a lot of Chud in the stuff. All right, there you go. You're a growing boy. Delicious, right? Stuff's pretty good. Ah, all's well that ends well. Them boys got a tapeworm. I mean, you too can have containers of the stuff hanging around your abode as well. Hey man, know where I can get any of the stuff? Yeah, Chevy Chase's Fletch. Yeah, that would have been an awesome crossover. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it, Vero. Like that's totally how I felt watching this. This is such a silly movie, but that's totally Larry Cohen. Like, if you've never seen a Larry Cohen movie, they're typically like that. They're fun, um, schlocky, very New York, extremely New York, and they're pretty fun. You know, he has certain distinct style about him, and I'm definitely going to miss that guy. Like, so many great things. I mean, Maniac Cop, it's alive. Oh my god, I love It's Alive. Like, we could actually have a Larry Cohen night. I mean, Cue the Winged Serpent, Black Caesar. He did a lot of black exploitation. He did one of my favorites, original gangsters, I should say. Oh, Ambulance. How many of you guys have seen Ambulance? That is a very, very underrated film. The same music as the Ice Pirates movie. uh, got a round of applause from Ghostface. Very cool. I'm very glad to hear that, guys. Oh man, I absolutely love the stuff. So, guys, I'm so happy that you enjoyed it. So, we will get prepared and ready for our next film, which will be Night of the Demons. It is available on Tubi. It is available on Pluto TV, same as this one. I never reached an ad on Pluto, so I'm going to stick with Pluto. You can find it on Sling TV. You can find it on the Roku channel for free, Redbox for free, Plex for free. Pretty much Night of the Demons is available everywhere for free. So what I'm going to do is let me add the Tubi link for those of you that may want to watch it. Let me pin that into the chat. Oh man, so much fun. All right. Let me pin this instead. All right. I have pinned the brand new link for Tubi um, for Night of the Demons. I can't wait. All right, guys. But yeah, we will reconvene here at 9:15 to continue Night of the Demons. But in the meanwhile, guys, if you want to go ahead and grab some food, grab some snacks, hit a restroom break, things of that nature, you can definitely do that. Let me, in the meanwhile, give you guys something very cool to watch in the meanwhile. Okay. See here. Find you guys something cool to watch. All right. I found something for you guys in the time being, and I will be right back. I am going to check on the kiddo, and I will be back to join you guys. I know, who would have thought that we'd eventually all get these great movies for free? I mean, if you would have told me that as a kid, I would have told you, like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. But, all right, guys, I'll be back shortly, and we will continue this awesome Disgraceful Double Features live watch along. Okay, guys, give me a second. Let me try to get the audio working on this.
I want to talk about something tonight. For about 10 years now, I've been getting flack from various organizations of feminists, fundamentalists, mad mamas, psycho college professors, claiming that the movies I talk about, that is the 3 Bs, blood, breasts, and beasts, are sick and demeaning and twisted and perverted. Well, of course they are. Why do you think I watch them? But there's other stuff they say that is not true. For example, number one, they say slasher movies are demeaning because they endorse violence against women. Now, I never understood this because I never noticed a single movie where more women were killed than men, and in 99% of them, the only person who survives is a woman. Where do you think Jamie Lee Curtis got her start? By being the only dang person who survives. Number two, they claim that hardcore horror flicks cause crime. Well, if this is true, then the Tarrant County Sheriff's Department should have a posse stationed outside my trailer house 24 hours a day, because nobody has watched more hardcore horror flicks than I have. Any day now I could go off the deep end and start flinging hatchets at old ladies. So that's stupid, because I hadn't committed a single felony. Well, no major felonies anyway. Number three, they say horror flicks are a way for rednecks like me to act out weird, violent fantasies. In other words, all of us out here in the boonies are like the Cannibal family in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We really would like to be munching on tourists. Otherwise, why would we laugh and hoot at the screen when Leatherface's family does it? So anyhow, I've talked till I am blue in the face about this stuff. I've gone to seminars. I challenged the president of the National Organization of Women to a nude mud wrestling match. She didn't show up. I faced off against that shrewd fundamentalist Dr. Thomas Radecki, head of the National Coalition Against TV Violence, but nobody ever listens because it's just Joe Bob. In other words, I'm too pitiful to listen to. So I want to say something here, and I want you to listen real carefully. I'm about to tell you about this book written by a Berkeley professor. Now, this is hard for me. Large parts of my identity depend on hating everything that comes out of Berkeley. But I like this book so much that I almost don't even want to review it, because what if everybody says, oh, don't read that. Joe Bob likes it. But it gets lonely out here, so here goes. Men, Women, and Chainsaws, Gender in the Modern Horror Film by Carol J. Clover, professor of Scandinavian and Comparative Literature at the University of California at Berkeley. I'm already exhausted. Carol, next time when you write a book, study titles like Jaws and It. It's easier on all of us, okay? Anyhow, I'm not going to try to analyze this whole book because a lot of it, frankly, is over my head. You scoff? But it's basically about three kinds of movies: slasher movies, possession movies like The Exorcist, and rape revenge films like I Spit on Your Grave. And in fact, I'm pretty sure this is the first serious book in the history of the world to do a complete analysis of the plot of I Spit on Your Grave. But from my selfish point of view, I want you to know a few things that Professor Carroll decided after watching about 200 of these movies. Number one, slasher movies are told from the point of view of the woman. In fact, the final girl, or as I call her, the Jamie Lee Curtis girl, is so much a part of the slasher film that the writer doesn't have any choice. You have got to have a final girl, and the final girl has got to be a girl. Understand that? Number two, since 99% of the audience at slasher movies is male, this means that all those men are identifying with the experience of the woman. You get this? They're experiencing the movie through a woman's body. In other words, the opposite of what the feminist censors have been saying for umpteen jillion years now. Number three, Jason and Leatherface are actually females disguised as males, kind of a transvestite deal. Think about it. Aren't these guys always real screwed up sexually? Don't they always have trouble deciding what they are? It's a tradition that continues right up through James Crumb, the psycho killer in Silence of the Lambs. So the original criticism of these movies, that the killers are always male and the principal victim's always female, is turned upside down right here in this book. Number four, the real villains in horror movies are male rednecks. The rednecks have replaced the redskins, she says, because in the old westerns, any Indian who came on screen was assumed to be violent and hateful and savage. Today, any redneck who comes on the screen is assumed to be violent and hateful and savage just because he's redneck. Number five, I Spit on Your Grave. I Spit on Your Grave has been called the most disgusting film ever made by Egbert and Siskel, and it's been banned from cable TV for 15 years, but it is actually told from a female point of view so that the audience identifies with the ultimate triumph of the woman over the rapist. And as I've always said, what male could ever watch the bathtub scene in that movie and think the movie is in favor of violence against women? When I see that scene, I can't walk straight for a week. And finally, The Accused and Thelma and Louise are both watered-down versions of I Spit on Your Grave, and Silence of the Lambs is just another version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You think I'm oversimplifying this deal? Okay, sure, probably. I'm probably going to get a letter from the whole goddamn Berkeley faculty saying, you ignorant yahoo, that's not what this book means. But right now, tonight, after reading this book, I feel pretty good about it. Makes me think there's some hope. Makes me think some smart people will get their hands on it and become dumb like me, or something like that. And to prove it, we've got tonight's movie, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, which of course is not the final Nightmare on Elm Street movie because they've already announced they're making another one this year. But anyhow, it's a good one, and it's got a final girl in it, and it's got a sexually screwed up killer, and it pretty much explains every single thing in this here book. I didn't mean to go academic on you tonight, but I got to get these things off my chest. 3 dead bodies, exploding head, gratuitous Tom and Roseanne Arnold. Roll it, rated R. I'll be back afterwards. This book is pretty scary, too. I mean, it's got hundreds of dead bodies, no breasts, academic foo, men, women, and chainsaws. Published by, oh my God, Princeton University Press. What is happening to me?
All right, guys. Had to let Joe Bob go on his rant. You got to let Joe Bob finish his rants, and that was a pretty epic rant. But I'm glad to be back, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that diatribe in regards to Freddy's Dead and the final girl and everything. I am a student of Joe Bob, so I can listen to that man talk endlessly about the horror genre. But I am back, guys, and hope you guys are all queued up for some more horror goodness. This time, of course, we have Night of the Demons. I can't wait. So, guys, let me go ahead and get queued up myself, and let us count down. We're going to count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it. All right, guys. So love this movie. And this is another one of those films that is never a bad time for. This is just so 80s. And funny enough, these are two films that have been shown. Speaking of Joe Bob Briggs on the last drive-in, the stuff was shown on an earlier season, and with Night of the Demons, they had this for, if I'm not mistaken, not last year, but the year before last, Halloween special. I've met a lot of the cast from this movie, at least the cast that do conventions. I absolutely love this movie. It was one of those films that the VHS cover got me. So, guys, same question in regards to the stuff. When was the first time that you watched Night of the Demons? Um, it's another one of those movies that people have come to watch from a variety of different ways. So, when did you guys first see it, and how did you guys first come across Night of the Demons? For me, this was 100% a movie store rental. I saw Angela on the cover, and by this time, the Night of the Demons sequels had been out for a while. So of course I had to start with the first one, and that's where I fell in love with Angela. It's very cool that there are two very popular Angelas from the '80s in regards to the horror genre. Probably in middle school on TV. Yeah, this was, oh my gosh, this was on TV so many times, Tony. You're right. Like, this came on television on for me, I remember seeing this on network TV on Saturdays when the network channels would show stuff on like Saturdays after cartoons in the afternoon, leading up to about the time that the news would start, the weekend version of the news, and then the prime time Saturday shows. But you're seeing Linnea at a con next month. Which con are you seeing her at, Oh Restless? I love Linnea. Oh my gosh. My favorite Linnea memory was seeing Linnea at Telluride Horror Film Festival. She was there. I think they were showing either one of her old films, or she was showing a new film that she was in. But anyway, basically, the cool thing about the Telluride Film Festival is this in this very small, cool mountain town, and you see the horror celebrities just walking up and down the strip, going to the different restaurants and bars, and Linnea just hanging out in the street in front of one of the restaurants. So I got to talk to her for a little bit. I didn't want to be a fan at that moment and just like, oh, can I get your autograph? Can I get a picture with you? But it was fun to just talk with her for like a couple of minutes, just to thank her for being there and let her know that I was coming there from Texas, and she was very appreciative of me being a fan. Linnea's very cool. The old fart. Yeah, this is a wonderful opening. I love the animation for this opening, Ghostface. That's one thing I miss about the 80s and 90s, having animated openings like that. I need some Halloween draws like that. You're around 9 or 10, Lori. Kind of the same. Saw at the video store. Yeah, that VHS cover is iconic with Angela on there. Like, it really grabs your attention to where you're just like, you know what? I need to watch this. Her creature design looked so cool. So it's a small con called Monster Expo. Yeah, I've heard of Monster Expo. Tom Matthews, C.J. Graham, and the director of Never Hike Along. Yeah, I love Never Hike Along. I got to see. Oh my gosh. What kind was that? I can't remember what it was. I think it may have been Mad Mustard Party, where they had a screening of Never Hike Along 2. And it was really cool to hang out with them. Yeah, I've been wanting to go check out a Monster Expo. I've heard of them. Yeah, yeah, Lene is so warm and sweet. Like, I love her. And then Amelia Kincaid is a character. I love her. She's just so bubbly and full of personality. Like, it was so awesome to meet her as well. Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely check out Monster Expo. I need to see. Am I need to double check them because I think I'm following them on. I know I'm following them on Instagram, but I need to double check to make sure I'm following them on Facebook as well. Man, there were so many hot women in this movie. That's another reason why this film lives on in infamy. Like everyone had their favorite girl in this movie. Like whoever did the casting, my hat goes off to them. And plenty butt shots too. Hey, if they only knew the Angelas were the best chicks. It's so crazy, like what the '80s did for the goth girl. Like the goth girl was such the outcast, and then something kind of switched in the '90s. Like I mean, certain people in the '80s got it. Like you have like films like this. Oh, timestamp. Oh, restless. I am at 7 minutes and 27 seconds. But films like this did wonders for goth girls. Oh, that '80s bra and her creepy brother. I mean, he was right though. I mean, she did have a nice set. No problem at all, Josh. We're right at 8 minutes on Night of the Demons. Yeah, they were outcast. Yeah, definitely. But the cool thing about the portrayal of the craft is they were the main subject of it. They weren't just a pawn in the storyline, like necessarily with this. There was a bit of evolution going on with it, even though they still had a little bit of the the goth girl as a pawn, like with urban legends, like a plot contrivance. The slutty goth girl played by Danielle Harris, which I am all for Danielle Harris portraying the slutty goth girl. Oh yeah, the Craft is a classic, and it's crazy because the Craft was my introduction to goth girls in a way because that came out the perfect time for me. It was in middle school, so there was a ton of angsty goth girls, a lot of angsty alternative girls that were into it was a really big new metal time. So I was really getting into new metal, and we vibed over our love of new metal and also the Craft. Like they were very rich, witchy, and influenced by the Craft. So I always was pretty attracted to that. So I was a forerunner in the appreciation of the goth girl before it became the normal guys came around. Take it and sing. A dollar. He spared no expense. Is Stay Alive on Tubi? Let me check. Let me double check. Not currently, but I don't doubt that it will eventually get on there. Of course, you know the thing with streaming services. Oh, the most famous butt in this movie. I almost missed it. But yeah, I'll double check on that. We'll keep look on that. That's an epic butt shot right here. Yeah, I hope that they will actually have Stay Alive eventually on there. They do rotate it here and there. Oh, the good old magician's trick. I've seen that one before, like once before, but that was probably closer to when it was released. So I'm long overdue for catching it again. The look on her face, the look of glee as she is going full shoplifting. And that was another prime goth chick stereotype that they were a bit of a klepto, bit of kleptos. I can't lie and say that that didn't fit a few goth chicks that I knew in middle and high school. Just had a thing for just like I have the money to pay for this, but I'm just gonna snatch it just because. Love Linnea in this. You have it on DVD? Okay. Yeah, I really wish a lot of these companies would get on it with releasing things on Blu-ray and 4K. We never, never have enough stuff, guys. If there's anything that we've learned tonight, never have enough stuff. Oh, I love Linnea. Oh my gosh. Good old public domain cartoons. A trick as old as time. Man, I love those old Halloween decorations. Like every time I see those cutouts, like that reminds me of the Halloween decorations I had as a kid. And I'm so thankful that my mom was so totally into Halloween. Like, oh man, I think of kids that grew up in households where their parents were like ultra religious and they couldn't celebrate Halloween. And I'm so glad that was never me. Like the fact that looking forward to Halloween was like a months in advance thing for me as a kid, even just goes to show like a lot of us were meant to be the horror fans that we are, guys. Why is he? Why is she serving him a plate of shit? I mean, technically, there are a lot of girls whose moms can't cook at all, so technically, getting served shit is a lot more normal than we like to admit. Oh, that Frankenstein decoration. That cutout is so good. But that reminds me, that's another reason why I'm glad to go to Horror Hound because in the Midwest, there's a lot of old like card supply companies still around that have like vintage Halloween decorations and things of that nature. So whenever I'm somewhere like in the Midwest or somewhere on the East Coast, I look for a lot of those old like greeting card type stores and things of that nature because a lot of them have like a lot of like super old stock. So I like to ask like, hey, do you guys have any like old Halloween stuff? And more often than not, they'll have something. They may not have like the most stuff, but sometimes just coming across a nice little gem like one of those decorations is really big. Yeah, I know, Lori. Like Halloween as a kid was so fun. Like literally, like there were so many trick or treaters. Like kids barely trick or treat nowadays, and I totally get why. But I'm so glad that I live in a neighborhood where trick or treating is very popular. Like it's cool that in Texas trick or treating is still very vibrant, especially if you live in certain neighborhoods. Like there's a very big Halloween culture. I think that's actually coming back because of parents that are my age that remember those Halloween times and they kind of want their kids to actually have that. And then not only that, but Halloween is what the second biggest Halloween, well, the second biggest holiday in regards to business behind Christmas. So, I mean, it's raking in billions now. So, it's a good time to be a kid now in regards to Halloween, especially better than it was like 10 years ago. But nothing beats the Halloweens that I think that we had as kids. Your dad's birthday is on Halloween. Your parents threw some really great parties back in the day. Oh, that's a wonderful birthday to have. Like I'm very jealous of the people that have Halloween on their birthdays because that's a fun time to have a party. Like for real. Costume party every year. Like yearly costume party shindig for my birthday. That would be it. For real. Yeah, right, Tony? Having Halloween for your birthday? Oh, I'm with you on that bumper. Halloween is the perfect wedding date for a horror fan. I mean, perfect day to celebrate. Like we're gonna celebrate our love right here on my favorite day. They were out and about last Halloween. Okay, poor kids had to trick or treat in trunks of cars. So sad. Yeah. Unfortunately, this year or last year in Texas, I was on the cruise, but they didn't have the best weather the year before last. So, being in Texas, it's a crapshoot in regards to what weather we're going to get. But when it's nice weather, oh my gosh, tons of kids out. Bumper says, my street is crazy on Halloween, like 1,000 people on our street. Looks like a festival. Yeah, man. I definitely need to do Vegas on Halloween one year for sure. Your dad always turned off the lights and then hand out candy. Hey, your dad served our country, so he is totally fine without giving out candy. That man made a lot of sacrifices, so he was definitely excluded. No worries. That's very funny to know, Tony. 300 houses on your street. Oh, yeah. There's a couple of houses that do haunted houses in my neighborhood, but on your street, just on the street, that's crazy. Your grandma's birthday is on Halloween. She passed years ago, but always thought it was awesome. Hey, and Halloween, that's a cool thing to always have as a way to actually celebrate her too. So that's very cool, Josh. And they say Halloween, the veil between the dead and the living is ultra thin. So it's a perfect way to pay respect to our ancestors. And then, Day of the Dead is, right around that time as well. So I definitely do all the spooky things around that time of year. My mom always turned the garage into a haunted house for the kids, and we had to help and work in it. Yeah, that's always a fun time. Happy. You know what? To tell you the truth, I really want to do that one year. I really want to actually take all the crap out of my garage and use that and um my lot and everything for my driveway to do a haunted house. That would be pretty fun. Actually, next year, I'm gonna have to go by this. There's this one guy that's very infamous in Dallas Fort Worth that has like a gang of animatronics that he actually has a theme. But the funny thing is, it got so big on the street, they like shut down the street, and so many people were coming by to check out the animatronics and his decorations that they actually had to move it to a nearby park. So it's in cooperation with the actual city now. So I have to do that this upcoming Halloween season and show you guys that. I think it's called Halloween on Hanover Court or Nightmare on Hanover Court, something like that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, Bumper. I can't wait for them to open that. I'm a bit sad because they're going to open that like right after I plan on coming for the Ghost concert. But I found out that they're planning on doing like a Halloween market in Vegas in October. I'll have to send you the link for it. So that'll be probably the time that I'll actually go check out the Universal thing out in Area 15. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I'm totally with that. I'm not the biggest in regards to strangers invading my space. So I don't blame your dad at all for that. Let me see, where is Ghost Plan? I have to double check it. Actually, now that I think about it, I need to go ahead and get my tickets because my friend that lives in Vegas that I was planning on going to that concert with, she was telling me that we probably need to grab our tickets. It's going to be at MGM Grand Garden Arena, and that is going to be on August the 9th. Yeah, because I think they're supposed to be doing the Universal thing or opening it the next day. So that totally sucks. But hey, I mean, I always need a reason to come to Vegas. A very small reason for me to show up. So I'll be there for that. Oh, man. So many dancing hot women in this movie. Man, Linnea just had awesome, just awesome legs, first and foremost. Amazing body. It just really depends on the movie that you saw Linnea in, but I always thought Linnea had amazing legs. I mean, of course, she showed them off very well in her workout video. Does anyone have Linnea's workout tape in here? I'm pretty sure Tony probably has it. I know Tony or Bumper probably has it. I have the soundtrack on cassette. I don't actually have the video though. I need to buy it one of these days. Oh, really? So it's a pretty small spot? Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, I think we were gonna go try to get something pretty close by before it gets pretty expensive. Oh, Laura, you didn't know Linnea has a workout tape? Oh, that's a pretty infamous collector's item. It's like Linnea's like horror workout tape. I forgot what the actual name of it is called, but you'll find copies of it every now and then at a convention. But you can actually find it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure someone has the full. No, actually, you know what's funny? I think this is sometimes you can find it on Tubi as well. But let me double check. Yeah, Linnea Quigley's hard workout is actually on Tubi right now, so you can find it on Tubi. And you can find it on physical media as well. But I have the soundtrack, and that was through TerraVision. Let me double check. Her mother was an acid head. Tony says, "I wish you got the Richard Simmons ones. I love old school workout tapes. They're so cheesy. Like I have a few Tybo DVDs. Like you see stuff like that, you just grab it. It's just like, why not? Mm-mm-mm. Oh, dance with the nice girl, dude. Come on now. See, you got to switch from Duracell to Energizer. You haven't seen that bunny? Come on, man. You gotta get with the commercials, man. Something more in tune with the holiday. And for anyone that's curious, 26 minutes and 7 seconds. Ah, see, I got you. I got you happy. I knew someone was going to probably ask for one sooner or later. So 26 minutes and 15 seconds. I knew there was a timestamp probably coming up. Yeah, 26 minutes and 30 seconds, guys. That's crazy, guys. I've only had one ad so far. It's been a very good night. Oh, Raj. This movie's so fun. But you could tell the cast had a lot of fun filming this movie. I mean, it's still beyond me how they were able to assemble all of those very attractive girls for this party. Like, literally, like, the fact that the good girl is the one that's not getting danced with, but she's super attractive as well. So she's the ugly duckling of the group. That's wild. I've always found that pretty hilarious about this movie. Right, that's the thing. She's a little prudish. Oh yeah, you're right about that, old restless. This is a fun movie though. Like, man, there's some movies that just make you want to be a fly on the wall just to be during that production, to be there during that production. Okay, guys. How many of you guys remember this? Now, I love Night of the Demons. I absolutely love this film. But how many of you guys have seen and remember the film Night of the Demon? That's revolving around the Bigfoot. That is that movie freaked me out as a kid as well, because that is where I came into the concept of beasts having an affinity for women. And it's just like, oh, that's a possible thing. Oh, and that kind of opened a whole world up into me. Like, oh, so that's what was happening in Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, Night of the Demon kind of screwed me up as a kid. Like the Bigfoot grape scenes were a very interesting touch. That's a film I have to see again. Like I haven't seen that in forever, but I am definitely overdue for a Night of the Demon watch. Let me double check if that's streaming anywhere. No, I don't think so. But I that's the type of movie that I wind out that someone put up a free copy on YouTube somewhere. But I'm looking. Oh, it looks like Severin actually has a 2 disc Blu-ray of Night of the Demon. Hmm. I'm pretty sure I'm going to see their table at Horror Hound, so I'm going to actually ask them if they have Night of the Demon. Oh my gosh! If you guys haven't seen Night of the Demon, that is some disgraceful double features type shit right there. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like the whole thing that I'm going for with disgraceful double features is slightly questionable taste. Where if you recommended it to certain people, they would look at you a certain way. Like, wait a second, you're into this? And Night of the Demon is definitely one of those films. So I'm gonna have to look to see if I could find that somewhere, at least streaming on YouTube or something. That would be a pretty crazy watch. So we may try to do that on the Discord if I could find that on YouTube. So I'm looking for a good film to do for our first Discord watch party. No, Raj, you can always have more cold beer. Oh, he's a preacher's kid. Of course he's hanging out with all the misfits. Man, preacher's kids were always hilarious to hang out with. Did any of you guys hang out with any preacher's kids? Yeah, they were notoriously some of the worst ones. And then not only that, but some of them had a lot of money. So they were very down to like, shell out money for beer and other party favors. If Greasy Strangler is available to watch on any streaming service, shame on that streaming service. And I mean that in a good way. They should be ashamed of themselves. But that would be so awesome. Let me see. I don't know. Let me see. The Greasy Strangler. Oh, actually, it is. It's available to watch on Freevee. You can watch it for free on Freevee. And it says you can watch it for free on Amazon Prime Video, but most likely because it's on Freevee. So you can watch The Greasy Strangler for free right now. You haven't seen that, but I definitely will soon. Okay, cool. Ghostface. Your brother's ex-wife was a preacher's daughter. She was a wild redhead. Oh man, so she had everything going against her. A ginger and a preacher's kid. Oh man, she never had a chance. Man, I'm thinking should I tell the story? Give me a couple seconds, guys. I'm thinking if I should tell the story revolving around a preacher's kid that I know. You got the DVD, but everyone here should watch it. Yeah, it's cool. Vero, it's funny that the Greasy Strangler was mentioned because for the cult classic convention that I went to, the Greasy Strangler guys were there, and oh, it was so cool to see them. I should tell the story, Lori. All right, I'm gonna keep this as Facebook appropriate as possible, but okay. In college, I went to this church, especially a lot during my freshman and sophomore year. And this church was really cool because they were very welcoming to a lot of the kids that were, because this church was like right down the street from the college. So they were extremely welcoming to the the college kids, especially the incoming freshmen, because they wanted the incoming freshmen because they wanted them to have like a home away from home, knowing that they, sometimes were, from another city like I was in Memphis. So they were a very cool church, but the main thing about this church that was awesome and brought a lot of kids in was because they, after church service, you were able to go out and eat with them for free at Piccadilly Cafe. So if any of you guys are from the South or are familiar with Piccadilly Cafe, Piccadilly Cafeteria, um, they would go there for Sunday dinner, and we would get a free Sunday meal, which is clutch where you're a broke college student, especially a freshman. So went to this church a lot and got really cool with the deacons there. And there was this one really cool deacon there, and I'm not going to say his name, but he was a very cool dude. And he was one of those dudes that you could tell he was a wild dude back in his younger days. So he kind of related to us young kids, but you could tell he had kind of changed his life around and he was living a lot better. So he took a liking to me, and he introduced me to his daughter. And he was like, "Hey, man, I think you would like my daughter, and I think my daughter would like you." So he tried to hook me up with their daughter, well, his daughter, and she was very cute. I met her, at church. I'm like, okay, cute little deacon's daughter. So maybe we'll hang out a bit, chill and all that good stuff. Let's just say the deacon's daughter had nothing but diabolical thoughts in her head, and let's just say there was a reason why I found out why she was a single mother at a young age. Not saying there's anything wrong with young single mothers, but let's just say she was a bit wild, and it made it a bit awkward hanging out with the deacon, knowing that his daughter was very into me, and it's just like, you know what, preachers' kids and deacons' kids are always the worst. Well, I'm just gonna keep it as mildly as that. I'll let you guys figure out everything else in regards to the story. Chug a beer and share. But yeah, me and the deacon's daughter had a bit of a fling in college for a good year. It was really interesting though, because it was an interesting situation because I was maybe like 18 at the time. No, I was like maybe 18, 19 at the time, and she was the same age, 18, 19, but she had her own like place. I don't know if I think her dad had kind of like had that property and she just lived there. So, man, it was a cool spot to hang out at. Let's just say that, and watch horror films with the deacon's daughter. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, you're right, Ghostface. They're those are the ones you have to watch out for. You're raised around the Mormon church. When you hit a certain age, you're supposed to tell the bishop all your sins, even if you touch yourself. That's when I was like, well, I'm out. Yeah. That's when they start gaining the secrets on you. It's like, oh, brother Tony's over here doing this. But yeah, those Mormon girls are pretty hot though. But yeah, there's a lot going on with that. I have a lot of former Mormon friends. I have a lot of like friends that are in a lot of different scenarios, like Seventh Day Adventists, Mormons, everything. So a lot of them are like, well, I'm not in that anymore. I'm like, so I bet you have a lot of interesting stories, and they tell me some really interesting things sometimes. Like when I first went to Utah last year, and I went to Salt Lake City. Like I'm fascinated with the history of stuff like that. So when I found out a lot of the bloodshed the Mormons had to do in order to get that land, it's just like wow. And then their journey to get to Utah or Salt Lake City in particular, it's just like man, that's very fascinating. Wherever they went, they had to catch some bodies. Or Russ was like, did you ever do that thing where you put it? Yeah, what is that thing called? Yeah, I follow a lot of former Mormon YouTube creators as well, and they have some very interesting stories. Tony, I would have messed with his head by telling them crazy things. That reminds me of a story of the era of British actors like in the 60s and 70s, like that. Think of like the prime Michael Caine era, and a lot of those guys were just like talking about their time of like growing up and being young in the post World War II years of like growing up poor or growing up knowing if you're not going to live to see the next day. So when they reached a certain age, they wanted to live life like there was no tomorrow. And one of the actors was talking about how he got into like a really bad circumstance to where he was almost going to die of like an illness or something, and they brought in the priest to give him the last rites. And the priest, was asking like, "Well, my son, do you have any things that you wanted to confess?" And the actor is like, "Father, I have lived quite a life, and if I confess to you all of my sins, I guarantee you would you would absolutely hate the day that you took your vows. So, do you really want me to tell you every single thing that I've done?" And the father he sat back and he took it all in for a second. And he just did like a quick prayer, did like a couple of Hail Marys, and he's like, okay, and he's on his way. So I'm just like, that's how you need to live life. No regrets. Yeah, I totally would mess with people's heads. Your grandpa's family goes back to the original Mormons. Oh man, that's crazy. That's pretty cool though. Like I'm a history nerd, so I consider that a lot of history as well. Like the fact of them, you know, how they were set up in Illinois for a bit, and then Illinois is like, no, you got to get out of here. And then they're in Missouri for a bit, and Missouri's like, no, you got to get out of here too. Like they did like an executive order, like kill Mormons on sight, so they had to leave, and it's just like, man, that's really crazy. Like the Mormons had to shed blood to have their right to practice. So it is what it is. And it's crazy how like a lot of Mormons don't even know about that history because they don't tell it. So it's like, wow, well, hey, you gotta keep those new members in one way or the other. Having kids, shield them off from certain things. Soaking. That's what it is. Soaking. I remember when I first heard about that through that Mormon kid that was on the Real World. That was my first exposure to Mormonism. It was that Mormon kid that was on the Real World that went to BYU. Does anyone remember that? Yeah, there's always a loophole. Yeah, from the New Orleans season. Yep, yep. And that's the season that had David. Come on, be my baby tonight. I've seen the way you treated other thugs before. Come on, be my baby tonight. That is like such a moment in TV history because I remember seeing that thinking, is this dude serious? And just to think that Dave Chappelle would have in the Dave Chappelle show. Yeah, man. That was when TV was so fun to watch, man. The Real World. Yep, Julie. Yep. And then they had the one chick that was drunk all the time. Like the I think the chick that was like Filipino. Man, but it was a fun like time. Like I really looked forward to those real world seasons. Yeah, the Exodus sticker, right? I love pointing out things like this and things like that in movies like this. Yeah, I know, right? Used to let stuff happen. They used to film for much longer. Yeah. Oh, you've never heard of soaking before? Oh man. Yeah, soaking was definitely an interesting thing. And then there's like how they have like the agreements for like makeout sessions where it's like you you can it's like they have a Tinder now for Mormons where they can get together to hook up, but it's just for like really heavy makeout sessions. So it's like, okay, well, hey, got to scratch that itch somehow. Now it's all super produced. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I'm with you on that old Restless. It's very manufactured now, and you could tell. You could tell a lot of the modern reality stuff is just like they set everything up as opposed to just having interesting people. Like they used to just really cast people that were just going to be interesting, and knowing that it would gauge a little bit of controversy. Like that's what I loved about when they did the reunions for the early the real world seasons because none of that is oh the dead Kennedys. Yeah, they got the dead Kennedys sticker right there. TCOL. Oh, this is such epic scene. Stigmata martyr. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, this definitely solidified it for goth girls for me. And the fact that she's a trained dancer and she put those skills to work here. Mm, 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 mm. And it's so crazy. Like when you meet Amelia Kincaid in real life, you're just like, oh yeah, you are most definitely an art school kid. Definitely a theater dance type chick for sure. No problem, Tony. 48 minutes and 20 seconds. And I wouldn't even blame you for being a few minutes late to take in all of Amelia Kincaid's greatness and another epic butt shot. Yeah, I do love the Angela cosplayers. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Yeah, it's definitely safe to say whoever was the set designer and whoever was in charge of the music was definitely into punk. Like I love the bumper stickers that were on the stereo, the Bauhaus song. They were into some definitely some alternative stuff. Oh yeah, most definitely. And that's why I consider this and Return of the Living Dead like almost like like spiritually connected in a way. Very good ensemble cast, great music, very punk aesthetic, and of course Linnea. And yeah, you're right, Anthony. She was on the return of the no, not the return, the Night of the Demons Joe Bob episode for Halloween, and she's a hoot. Like I love her personality. She totally has that. I'm an actor. I'm an entertainer type energy about her, and I love that. She seems like she would be very fun to hang out with and have a few drinks with. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a lot of '80s butts. This was definitely before Sir Mix-a-Lot let it be known it was okay, and like pretty much probably the only song that was out at that time was like Fat Bottom Girls, and some girls probably were offended by Fat Bottom Girls, but they do make the rock and world go round. I mean, if you ask me, yeah, Return of the Living Dead is definitely high up there for me. I love how everyone is loving old restless joke. Yeah, but he's right. There's a lot of '80s butt here, but it's a sign of the times though. Girls didn't want to have big butts then. It's all about the boobs, the beebs. So to this day, we have to thank Sir Mix-a-Lot for what he did for changing the culture. Like, I think he should always be known for My Posse's on Broadway, but if you're gonna be known for a song, Baby's Got Back, it's not a bad one to be known for. He did us a great service with that. 45 Grave, yeah, yeah, man, that's such a dilemma. I totally get you on that, man. That's totally an expense in itself. All right, speaking of boobs, here we go. Get some '80s boobs. I mean, we had to fill the quota somehow, and we're gonna get some more boobs later. Yeah, I know that's a signature to grab for real. Hey, Tony, your dad was a man of culture. That's definitely one of those old timers that I would have loved to have met. Like I could definitely tell that he would have reminded me a lot of the guys that I knew back in the day that I grew up around. Like they really don't make them like that anymore. They can't make them like that anymore. They broke the mold on guys like that. Lipstick boob. Like this is a very fun trick effect as well. This effect used to always trip me out as a kid. Oh, you stuck in commercials, old wrestlers. Oh man. Yeah, I definitely would have loved to have had a beer with your dad, man. He seems like he was a very cool dude. Yeah, I know, right, Tony? And for anyone that's wondering, I'm at 54 minutes and 42 seconds. 54 minutes 45. Oh, she's hot. She is a hottie. Make sure. All right, double checking the. Make sure the kiddo didn't need anything. All right, looks like I'm all good. Yeah, man, all those stickers. And Raj out there kicking it. It's like, oh, I'm out of here. Oh man, I'm glad to hear that, Tony. You're trying to get some sleep and friends messing with you. If only that were the case. And don't forget, guys, right after the live watch party, I will be doing the drawing for the giveaway. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I love some Night of the Demons cosplayers. The Suzanne and Angela cosplayers are definitely fun. And I love how they didn't have the cod piece for Linnea in this, like in Return of the Living Dead. That always confused me as a kid. I was just like, wait a second, what is going on down there? Like, I know I haven't seen many of those, but I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to look like that. Uh oh. And when she turns into a butterface before your eyes, and the bear goggles are wearing off. Yeah, the Birkin. Yeah. Yeah, we got more boobs too. Yeah, the Asian chick had an amazing pair of boobs. Like she was definitely hot. Oh no. I was always sad when she got her neck snapped. I was like, oh no, she was so hot. Why? Why? Yeah, so 80s, right? So 80s. Yeah, it's crazy. The girl that played that girl who played Franny, I remember her from the later Sleepaway Camp films. I know she was in Sleepaway Camp 3. I really wish she would do cons. That would be very cool to see her at a con. That's cool, Josh. I'm at 58 minutes and 40 seconds. Yeah, that Jill chick should definitely do conventions. Like I know she had definitely a few admirers. I wonder if she's on Instagram. Yeah, that was an awesome eye gouge. No, I gotta put on the sweet voice. Let me double check something. Yeah, it looks like. Now that I'm looking at it, it looks like she has done conventions before. I'm seeing pictures of her at Days of the Dead Atlanta and other conventions. Okay, so I'll keep out hope that I run into her because she was definitely someone that I had a crush on. Oh wow. Okay, well she was at least last at Chiller Theater Expo in 2024, so she definitely does cons. I have to make sure to check to see if I see her at something very soon. Yeah, Jill Terashita. That's her name. Sweet. Oh, Angela. Some gnarly teeth there. Yeah, I would really love to do Chiller Theater. I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's it's eluded me, but one of these days I'm gonna definitely do it. And they seem to have some really good guests that make rare appearances at other conventions. Yep, got to get out to those East Coast cons. I need to double check when is Blob Fest as well. That's another one that I need to do. Yeah, Blob Fest 2025 is July 11th through the 13th in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, at the Historical Colonial Theater, which is a filming location in the Blob. So that's another one that I need to check out. She's strong. She Marty Jannetti'd him straight through the window. Exactly. The chick from Billie Jean and Tommy Chung. Oh my gosh, I would love to meet them for real. Ola Ray, that's her name. Ola Ray and Tommy Chung. Oh man, so would love to meet Tommy. arms roll, as Joe Bob would say. You gotta love the disembodied arm right there. The severed arm. It's just like, all right, there you go. That chick had a very impressive scream, though. You gotta give it to her. Very, very impressive scream. Oh, you know what? That's $250 I would be happy to spend with that experience, Bumper. I would totally do that. To say I hung out with Tommy Chung for a while, like there are certain celebrities that you just want to do that and be in their, just in their aura. Like I would love that experience with Tommy. I would love that experience with Willie Nelson. Oh my gosh. If I just ever had the opportunity to hang out with Willie Nelson, that's why I hope to get lucky sometimes in Austin sometimes because every now and then people will see Willie out sometimes, but hey, not all of us can have that much luck. Yeah, I would totally do that, Bumper. That's a good 250. I spent 250 on way worse stuff that I would have that I wouldn't have the sheer amount of memories that I would have from that experience. I feel you, Tony. I would probably annoy him about asking questions about Ray because I love some Ray Don Chong. I love how the cool thing about this movie is it's very distinctly comedy at first. It's typical comedy, and then when it gets to horror, it's horror. Like I love how they tackled the horror comedy aspect of this film a bit differently. Like the way, like for instance, like with Return of the Living Dead, they sprinkle the horror and the comedy all throughout Return of the Living Dead. But with this one, it's almost like half and half. Like the first half comedy, second half leans on the horror. And I think that's why this one works as well because they found a way to make that work very well for this film. It's like it kind of lures people in a lot. Yeah, that's another thing. I love the makeup for this film as well. They did a really good job of special effects with this. It's very underrated with the special effects. Like um, like the makeup on the actual characters was more subtle. They didn't go too far out with the creature designs with that, but they did just enough to make it very unsettling. But I love the house setting. Like so much was working in its favor for this film. I'm just sitting back thinking about like how many times I've seen this movie. I absolutely love this movie. Yeah, exactly. Like no matter where you go, there's some sort of like obstacle that you do not want to deal with in this house. And then I have to double check. I have to redo go into that Joe Bob interview, but I think they filmed this in like somewhere in like the hood. Like this is like in South Central or somewhere in like Compton. Like this where this house was. I have to double check that interview, but that was very interesting. I'm at 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 15 seconds. Donovan. I bet you wish you didn't skip the pull-ups. Hey, no problem at all, Donovan. It's like, man, I can't do nothing for you. You're gonna have to scoot over this way, girl. He's like, move and sway. Uh oh. And you lucked out. He's like, you again. Oh my gosh. Like every time I see movies like this, I think it's hilarious how like the actors have to use those like atrocious like 80s contacts. Oh man, as someone that wears contacts, like that's one thing I really wish I could never go back to experience those 80s contacts, like the hard lens ones. Ugh. What do I think of the second Night of the Demons? You know what? I actually enjoy the second Night of the Demons. I really do like the second one. I mean, it's not the first one, but it has its enjoyable moments. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I've never thought negatively of it. It has its fun moments as well. I like how they continue with more Angela. It's kind of like how I feel about like Sleepaway Camp and its sequels. Like the first one's definitely the best one, but the continuing ones are fun in a bit of a different way. It's like, yeah, this sucks. Or I just like I knew I shouldn't have came out tonight. Yeah, it's definitely not bad. Like I enjoy it, but I'm the type of person that I really don't get to like bent out of shape on horror films. Like I go in just hoping to be entertained in some way, shape, or form. I'm not going in expecting them to be super awesome at all times. Like there could be a film that I could consider a 2 out of 5 star film, and I absolutely love it. But I can admit that it's not better than some of the other films that may be greater, but I can get a lot of enjoyment out of watching them. Like I love the fact that Bruce Springsteen's sister plays Angela in the Sleepaway Camp sequels. I think that's pretty funny, and it adds to the lore. Like I wonder if she ever did any conventions like Bruce Springsteen's sister. Because there are a lot of people that love Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3, but especially Sleepaway Camp 2. Mm. Like another celebrity that I think of, like that did horror movies, but never does cons, and I can see why she never does cons. Is Mia Farrow's sister, who did a lot of well, not a lot of, but she did a couple of Italian horror films. Oh, I'm glad to hear that you'll watch this again, Ghostface. This was a fun one. Like this is a fun one to watch every Halloween. I typically watch this around Halloween time. It's perfect for getting you into the spooky season mood. Not tonight, my boy. You smart, girl. You smart. Oh, you gotta love that exposition. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Tony. Yeah, man. The Last of Us is good. I love The Last of Us. The game is a million time is a great game. It's probably one of the best games of all time, pound for pound. And the show definitely hits on a lot of emotion. It's a very good world. Um, the second season is going to be a lot of controversy, but the controversy, well, from what I hear, some of the things that may have been very controversial with the second game, may have been tweaked a little bit in the second season, mainly involving one character. So I'm interested in seeing how they're going to make the second season work and how fans are going to react to it, because there are just as many people that hate the second game as there are people that love the second game. Hey, I'm glad to hear that, Bumper. Hey, I'm so glad to hear that, y'all. Yeah, I had a lot of high hopes for The Last of Us, that they were going to do it right. So I'm really hoping next month, when the second season gets here, that we get more of the same as far as like great television. But we're gonna see with the second season. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Raj, help, help! Here with the impromptu flamethrower. I love when Raj is like, "Nope, I've had enough of this." Yeah, there's so many things that really work in favor for this film. You know, having a great ensemble, good music, Um, very attractive women. Um, and it's actually legitimately funny and scary at parts. Roger said, "Nope, I'm out." Raj, Raj is so determined to make it out of this horror movie. Yeah, Raj. You know what? Raj is pound for pound one of the smarter characters in a horror film. Raj was taking no chances. Like you know how like in horror movies how the characters just constantly make bad decisions. You can't say Raj made many bad decisions in this horror film. Raj is like, nope, mm-mm. I'm not waiting around for you. I'm not trying to be a hero. I am not trying to extend myself in bad situations that I could possibly die in to save you. Raj says, I'm going to Marty Jannetty myself to get out of this movie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The goody two shoes girl. Yeah, and that's funny because I watched the movie Scare Package 2 over the weekend, and it had a pretty fun short about Final Girls and the transition of Final Girls from the 80s to the 90s. And it was a pretty interesting and fun concept. It was actually the best segment in Scare Package 2. Roger's like, come on. I know we're going to get out of here. Roger's like, I'm not waiting on you. I tried to let you go first. Barbed wire be damned. Yeah, I love The Hunt. The Hunt was dope. Yeah, I love movies like The Hunt and You're Next, things like that. It's just a cool badass chick, stuff like that. Ready or Not. Yeah, I love Death Proof. Yeah, Death Proof as well. Just badass chicks. Yeah, I love The Hunt. The Hunt surprised me so much when I saw that a couple of years ago. Super fun movie. Yeah, speaking of Death Proof, I need to go to some of the Death Proof and Planet Terror filming locations since they're in Texas. Nah, these creature effects. Let me double check. I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me see where this was filmed at. Yeah. Let's see. Oh man, that's what it is. It was in South Central. And I was like, I know they did filming in like Compton or South Central for this film because they found like this abandoned place and they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna use this. But yeah, it was in South Central. Man, Zoe the stunt woman. I think she's awesome. Yeah, Zoe the stunt woman is dope. Like literally, they picked an amazing cast for the women, Like I would love to meet Zoe the stunt woman. I would love to meet Tracy Thoms. I think Tracy is like such a badass in that movie as well. Man, we gotta meet Kurt. We gotta meet Kurt Russell someday, guys. We have to meet Kurt. Somehow we're gonna make it work, guys. Yay, the sun's coming up. Like, yay, we made it. And Bumper, wasn't she in Hateful Eight as well? I'm trying to remember if that was the same chick who played that character. But I'm thinking that was her in the Hateful Eight as well. Oh, Bumper. I would make a trip just for Kurt Russell. Just for him. Like seriously. I don't care where it is. The moment it's announced, I'm getting VIP. I'm going to meet Kurt and I'm going back home. Because it would be mission accomplished. She was in Django. Okay, yeah, yeah. It's just good. I was getting my beauty west. Uh, oh yeah, and yeah, she was in the Hateful Eight as well. She was Six Horse Judy. That's what I was thinking of. She was awesome as Six Horse Judy as well. I like that character. Yeah, man, I would love to meet her. Yeah, cause she was in Django as well. She was in yeah, of course, Shoshana. Yeah, she really does need to do another kind. Oh man, I love this movie. They really did their thing with Night of the Demons. That's for sure. All right, guys. So just bear with me here. Let me get your names in the giveaway pool, and we are going to have some fun. All right. So let me copy and paste these names. Yeah, she definitely seems like a wild one for sure. That's the cool thing about women from like New Zealand and Australia. They have this certain wildness about them. Yeah, you grow up in places like that, then you're just gonna just be adventurous for sure. Big Trouble was a movie you and your dad watched so much back in the day. Yeah, oh, I have so many awesome memories of Big Trouble in Little China. It's funny because one of the actors who played, I think he played Lightning. His manager hits me up every now and then, asking me about cool conventions that I could possibly get him in at. So that's cool. I hope to meet them one day. They seem really cool. Let's see. The Razor in the next scene stuck with. Yeah, I know, right? You were missing out. Ghostface. Yeah, that's a classic. I love Big Trouble in Little China. And you have to see the music video for Big Trouble in Little China. I always tell people if you're a fan of that, you have to see the music video and see John Carpenter, Nick Castle, and Tommy Lee Wallace being a band and grooving out. I love that. Yeah, I am not going to be a fan of that Big Trouble in Little China at all. Because first of all, as much as I love The Rock has, and The Rock has a ton of charisma. He doesn't have Kurt Russell charisma. That Kurt Russell charisma is a very rare thing. You know, it's kind of like with Overboard. Like, I really enjoyed the Overboard remake. I thought it was actually pretty good, but nothing beats Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. That chemistry, oh man, that's still one of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah, it is a shame. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Mm-mm. Yeah, John Carpenter definitely wanted to be a rock star. He had rock star dreams. And that kind of reminds me of like how they make fun of like rappers, how they always say like rappers want to be ball players and ball players want to be rappers. It's kind of like that with like rock stars and directors and things of that nature. Because like rock stars want to be in horror movies, and like the directors in horror movies sometimes want to be in the music scene. So that's pretty funny. Yeah, the scores are amazing. Yeah, I haven't gotten to too much of his actual rock music outside of the scores. Yeah, exactly. Or Restless. The Rock isn't in the same stratosphere at all. Oh wait. They're remaking Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Now, tell me you're bad. You're good at making bad decisions without telling me you're good at making bad decisions. All right, guys. I've set up the actual random spin. So let me show you guys here the transition. Alrighty, guys. So we have the names of everyone that popped into the chat and hung out with us for a bit. We have Tony, we have Ghostface, Vero, Bumper, Lori, we have Jeff, Captain Spaulding, Papa Goss, and Old Restless. So, guys, I'd like to wish y'all best of luck. We have 2 containers of the stuff to give away. So, guys, fingers crossed. And for our first winner, we have. All right. It looks like Old Restless is our first winner. Congratulations, Old Restless. So, what you can do is you can send me a message in the Discord to give me your address, and I will make sure that this is sent out to you. So thank you again, Old Restless, for being a part of the Green Book gang and one of our travelers that stops through every time that you have the time. I really appreciate it. So for our second winner here on the channel, best of luck, best of luck. We have Captain Spaulding. Congratulations, Captain Spaulding. I'm not sure if Captain Spaulding's still in the chat right now, but I have Captain Spaulding's information. Actually, I have his address already because he's supposed to be sending me something. So I will be getting in contact with Captain Spaulding as well. Thank you guys so much for the giveaway and participating in the giveaway, I should say. But before we go, I want to let you guys know that Happy Toys and Collectibles, aka Donovan, and I have been discussing things in regards to the channel, and he wants to do more giveaways in which he's giving out some of his products that he sells and that he works on, and and share with the travelers here on the channel. So thank you so much for your contributions to the channel, Donovan, aka Happy Toys and Collectibles. And whenever you get your eBay marketplace store set up, we are going to make sure to get that information out there. So congratulations again to Old Restless and to Captain Spaulding. And also, thank you so much for Happy Toys and Collectibles for your awesome contributions. I mean, he decided to do it out of the goodness of his own heart, guys. Like, I didn't ask him to do it. He contacted me and he was like, "Hey, man, I want to do something very cool for the channel, and show my support and love for all the other members of the Green Book gang." So again, thank you so much, Donovan, for your contributions to the Green Book gang. I'm going to make sure to get all of those items out for you guys, and we're going to try to do something. We're going to run through some more of the logistics, but I think he said that he wants to do something maybe monthly on the channel, where we'll do a monthly giveaway for the live watch parties. So be on the lookout for that, travelers. And we're just gonna continue to do more and more things, and try to be more engaging with the community here, guys. I really appreciate every single one of you, and we're going to get set for our next live watch party, and we're going to have a great movie for you guys. So that's going to be awesome. The Disgraceful double features are going to be awesome as well. I can't wait to do those. It's going to be very sick, guys. Let me see. I'm going to make sure to get that all. But hold up, guys. Before you go, I'm going to need your help. What was the movie that I said that we should do for Monday? Was that Chopping Mall? I believe it was. I'm just making note. So we're going to do Chopping Mall for next Monday. Chopping Mall. So we have that. And what were the ones for next Tuesday? Oh, Restless, you still have. Yes, the next one is still on for Monday. I will be coming back from Horror Hound. I'm going to be tired, but I'm going to be ready to hang out with y'all and watch some horror. So, yes, we're going to do Chopping Mall. And let's see. I'm trying to remember the ones that we're going to do for Tuesday. I remember Old Restless said that he was going to think on it still, but it was going to be between 2001 Maniacs. And what was the other one? I'm just making a list. 2001 Maniacs. Because I could go back through the chat as well, but you guys are helping me out. All right. And Wolf Cop. Okay. Cool. And there's no rush for you to actually pick something. You have until Friday. So there's totally no rush. All right, cool. And I think, the other one was Life Force. Nice. So we're going to do Life Force and either 2001 Maniacs or Wolf Cop. Yeah, I got to make sure to start writing these things down. But yeah, I remembered it. It was coming to me. So Chopping Mall will be next Monday at our usual time. And we will also do Life Force and either 2001 Maniacs or Wolf Cop. Sounds like it will be another amazing Disgraceful double features, as well as a Monday live watch party. Guys, I'm really happy and looking forward to it. I've had a great night with you guys. It's still a bit early for me over here. It's only 11, so I'm going to make sure to probably grab me a late night snack, hang out for a bit, and log these letterboxed reviews for the channel. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys, definitely. Look out for my live stream, guys. I'm going to definitely live stream Horror Hound. I'm definitely going to do live streaming on Saturday and maybe on Friday, depending on the flow of things, because there are a few panels that I'm planning on going to. But I'm pretty sure I'll find the time to live stream some on Friday or Saturday. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Just make sure your notification bells are set to on so that you don't miss anything. But all right, guys, I thank you so much again for hanging out with me here on the Disgraceful double features here on the Horror Green Book, guys. Make sure to hit that like button before you leave. I've really enjoyed it. But travelers, I am your travel guide, Brendan, with the Horror Green Book, signing off again and letting you know that it is scary in those streets. So let me know that you made it home safely. Good night, travelers, and I will see you this weekend.